Hello there, it's David Taylor and I'm back with another one of my video blogs for the Pelargonium and Geranium Society. Now, something that I'm going to be talking about a lot over about the next month, particularly during February, is the stopping of plants. That's cutting them back in preparation for them flowering at a specific time of year. And that really is in preparation for shows in June and also preparation for your outdoor displays during the early part of summer. Now, it's still a bit early to be doing any cutting back for show work in June, so at this time I'm just looking to cut back some of my plants for early outdoor display, probably putting them out towards the very end of May and early June. Now, what I've got here is an angel plant that's put on a lot of growth during the late autumn and winter period. It's in an 8-inch clay pot, but you can see this growth that it's put on over that period is quite sort of long, and what we need to do now is cut some of this back to enable some of these stems to get a lot stronger, and so when the growth really starts to get going in the spring period, the growth will be a bit more compact and the stems holding them will be that much stronger. Now, as always, I'll be cleaning up my cutting tools to make sure that they're all nice and clean and free from any pest and disease. Now, I'm going to start snipping some of these. Because there's not an absolute mess, I will probably use a knife because it's a much cleaner cut. Now, what I tend to do is cut so that there's an uppermost shoot, and this basically creates the ball shape that make a good round plant, which is what you're ultimately looking for. Now, we've got a cut shoot. I mean, technically you could use some of this material for cuttings. It's the tail end of January, so if you had some warmth, you could do that. But I have actually got plenty of young plants of this variety anyway. It's a variety, it's one called Quantop Perfection. It's one of Ken Diamond's plants, and I really love the bloom on this. It's quite a large bloom, and it really gives a good display plant, I think. But for an outdoor plant, I think it's first class. I've just made sure that's very much on the dry side because it doesn't need any water. And I'll continue to do that and just show you what the plant looks like at the end. Okay, well, there we are. I've completed that task now. I've cut about, getting on for about a third of the growth off this plant. It's made it much more dense, and it's enabled these slightly weaker stems to be able to hold up the growth better. And what will basically happen now is that these stems are strengthened even more as it begins to grow away in the spring, and that'll create a really nice, good, strong plant for an outdoor display. Now, here's an example of a plant that I did earlier in the week. This is a smaller basket plant, but it is quite a strong growing angel. It's one called Scarborough Fair. It's another of Ken Diamond's larger growing plants. Now, this I cut back really hard because the weight of this growth that it's made over the autumn and the winter really began to pull down some of these stems. Now, over the coming month, as I said earlier, is going to be very much stopping time for shows, and indeed for plants that you may wish to be putting outside for good displays. Now, I did give a timetable for the stopping of the specific types of plants in the winter magazine, so refer to that for your actual stopping dates. And as I said, a lot of it does depend on the situation of your greenhouse and your positioning, how much light and how much shade you get, and the sort of temperature range that you get in your glasshouse during the spring. So that's all for now, and I'll be back with another video blog as we get into February looking at stopping of plants. See you then.